out. I'm 21, and
but you sound like you're 48.
I never went.
You do sound old.
Well, I mean,
You sound mature.
I'll take it. I guess.
Mature.
But I went off to a local community college for a couple semesters, never finished, and just started working.
Yeah.
And so I never got to leave home, and I'm starting to get a little fed up.
Oh, yeah, fed up.
I don't know how to, I'm currently like saving money, putting it away, and I have roughly enough to get 20% down on a house.
Nice.
But it's just, with today's market, it's kind of wild.
Okay.
Well, okay. So you're wondering, what should you do? Should you wait? Should you go for it? Is that kind of what you're thinking?
That, yeah, because like what's a solid interest rate? Like if I can get start going to houses and they give me an interest rate. I should take this, and what's don't be stupid.
Wow.
Oh.
First of all,
Glad you called into this podcast for financial advice.
This is the most serious request for advice we ever got, and I got to tell you, Miles is actually pretty well equipped to answer this.
Yeah, I'll let you go first.
In the real estate.
What's up? I dabble a little bit. Charlie, you dabble a little.
I dabble
too.
a little bit now.
Mostly though, Charlie, you got a lot of people around you that help you do that, right?
I do. I have some folks that help me make the right decisions, and because I'll be honest with you, I'm a very emotional buyer, but the good thing is I know that about myself, and so I find people to prevent me from making big mistakes. And that doesn't mean I still haven't made big mistakes, but I think you're good to save your money and that you have 20% down. It's going to be tough for you to get a good interest rate. I'm guessing. What's your credit like?
Okay, so hold on though.
Okay, see, I already screwed it up.
No, you're good. This is the thing that's been going on though. Is everyone's like, oh, it's a bad interest rate. It's a bad interest rate times right now. But let's put some shit in perspective here. All right. Back in the day, I mean, a good interest rate was like 14% back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking a while ago.
80s.
Right? 14% for a house. They were still buying houses. It ended up still being a good decision. They were still able to, if they sold it again, appreciate and make money on it. And now we're spoiled here in 2023. The interest rate goes up to 6% instead of 3%, and everyone starts panicking.
Yeah.
When in reality, the way the world works, it's so easy to refinance later. I wouldn't necessarily wait to buy a home. I would just go at the lowest rate you can find in your area. Then I would live there until the interest rates go back down, and I would refinance, and bada boom, bada bang, all of a sudden you're investing in your own asset instead of paying rent to someone else who's making money off of you.
And if the place you're buying is big enough, you could even rent out a portion of it to a roommate, or perhaps, and this is what I did when I first got a place. I bought a duplex and I lived there, and then I had a tenant also live there. So that covered my mortgage, and I was basically, aside for the down payment, I was kind of living there rent free, if you will.
What do you think?
So that's the thing is I got some buddies that have already asked me if they can live with me. So, making the payments, I don't see that being much of an issue. But I also don't want to, turn this into a frat house.
Okay, second part of his question.
He acts 48 too. Yeah, he acts for it. You're acting. I'm getting dad vibes. You're a responsible dude for being 21. But I feel like you know yourself and you know what you don't like. And yeah, you don't want guys coming in and be a big drinking situation, because you know what drunk guys do? They put holes in walls and doors, and then you got to fix them. And then it screws up your relationship with these friends.
Now, one thing you can
I
do.
think that has to do with me not going for college.
Oh, yeah. Why didn't you go for college?
Well, I was supposed to start right when COVID started, and I didn't feel like paying all that money to go to a university.
Yeah.
And then
like,
do all
online
your
classes.
school online. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, I never went off. And I think that kind of just killed like the party life. Like I don't enjoy that stuff anymore.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Okay, I'm going to talk you through a pros and cons list of living with shitheads. All right.
Oh, I'd love to hear this.
Pro is you can use their dumb stuff as leverage for future stuff. Meaning they punch a hole in the wall. You tell them they got to fix it. Plus, they now are on snow duty this winter because they feel bad about punching a hole in the wall. You can then get free labor out of your dumb buddies because they're acting like idiots, and then you can cash in on them being dumb.
Well, and you got to remember that Miles is this is Miles in his sweet spot. Miles, you should go into where Miles works, and you are the ringleader. You like it. You like being that head honcho. The question for him is, before you give him more of this advice, does he like being the head honcho, or is
I think he
like,
sounds super mature. I think he'd be able to handle that.
But some people are like Rex in Toy Story. I don't like confrontation. That's kind of how I am sometimes, and sometimes you just don't want to deal with it. Do you think you'd be able to sort of be that ringleader, or are you trying to avoid confrontation?
See, I'm not much of I'm a very mellow guy. I don't look for confrontation, but I don't avoid it if it's there. But that's something that I have to get used to, because I personally do not want to buy a house yet until I start my new job, which hopefully will be like towards the end of this year.
Okay.
And that'll definitely help with.
Have you looked at a duplex? Have you looked at a duplex? Because then you have your room and you have their room, and they can get roommates and they can do their thing or whatever. And then whatever is messed up in the house, you just take out their security deposit and it's a non-issue.
I haven't really looked at duplexes around here. I just, I'm trying to move out of the state. And that was actually going to be a little follow-up question is, I know Charlie could answer this. I currently live 25 minutes south of the border of Wisconsin. And I want to move across the border into Wisconsin. Will that still make me a fib?
Yeah, you're a fib for life, fella.
Yeah.
But you know what?
That's a stain you can't wash off.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. You know what? We love fibs. We do. And it's a term of endearment. Okay. So don't worry about that. Where you can't change where you came from, but I do think Wisconsin's a great place for you. Now, do you have any cities mapped out of where you'd like to maybe venture?
So with the ideal situation, I'm trying to get onto a police department, and I have to live within like the bordering counties.
Okay.
So I'll be working in Illinois, but living in Wisconsin. So somewhere like right around the Lake Geneva area, maybe anywhere from like Beloit all the way till Lake Michigan.
Wow, that's a big stretch. That is a big old stretch. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with all that real estate down there, but Racine is nice. Kenosha is nice. Beloit's nice. Honestly, there's a lot of great spots there. It just sort of depends what you're looking for, but there's no shortage of great places to live in that neck of the woods.
He does say that about every part of Wisconsin.
There is not a bad part of Wisconsin. I'll tell you that. Yeah, you can.
I can say that myself. I have not seen anything bad in Wisconsin.
Yeah, well,
besides the slow drivers.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay.
Fib, there it is.
It's like you guys are on Hawaiian time. You're never in a rush.
Listen. That's because in the Midwest, in Wisconsin, we're not trying to get anywhere on time. We're trying to pass the time. Okay. Put that on a t-shirt and sell it. Okay.
One thing kind of going back to he's worried about the roommates thing, Charlie, I want to ask you.
Yeah.
If he's looking for roommates, what's maybe a test that he can do to know if they're going to be a good roommate or not?
Oh, a test. I know. Here it is. You invite them over to hang out. okay, and just kind of talk about the situation. And you put 3 cheese curds on a plate, and you say, I was just having cheese curds. You want any of these? And then, here, try one. You eat one, he eats one. And then you sit there.
Then you wait.
And you wait. You have the conversation, and you let it go. And he's going to do one of 3 things. He's either going to take that cheese curd without asking you if you want it first. He's going to not take it at all. He's going to ask you if you want it. And that, or he's just going to eat it. So 4 things. He, depending on what he does, will determine if he should be living with you or not. Now, my question for you is, what would he have to do with that last cheese curd to make you want to live with him?
Oof. You know, if he doesn't, you know, offer it up, as long as he gives me an in-depth review, you know, if it squeaks or not, or if, you know, I got to live with a smart person. He's got to be educated. So, you know.
Well, there's one thing being educated, and there's one thing being educated in cheeses, though. I think, you know, Charlie was educated, but he's not very educated in cheeses, because the only one he knows is cheddar.
No, I also know pepper jack, Munster, Gouda, Swiss.
Okay, there we go. Mozzarella.
Mozzarella.
You're reading the back of the menu, getting the different cheeses that offer on burgers.
He's looking at the pizza toppings. Yeah.
Colby. There's a lot of cheeses, dude. Who cares? Cheese is cheese. Bottom line, if he just takes that last cheese curd and doesn't ask you for it at all, you don't want him living there. He's a selfish human being. There, I said it. Okay, problem solved.
There we go.
So
I think that's the test.
That's the test. And then
I would say buy a home as soon as you can. Do the test on some roommates. Get some roommates in there. And then set some ground rules. Do some non-negotiables. Hey, if you're gonna use the restroom and kind of blow it up, make sure you use the upstairs one, not the downstairs one. Stuff like that. Establish pee corner. You know, it's just make sure that everything is in place when they move in.
Come in hot with the rules. Okay, have your demands there, but also do not let a friend come in that you want to keep for a long time. Because
that's true. Do not move in with your best friend. That's a disaster.
Unless you want to end that friendship. But those are sort of the tidbits. But I'd really tell you to get a duplex because that'll give you your space, their space, and then that sucker can pay for itself. Why are you laughing at me?
Because duplexes, like in the areas that he's talking about, there's just not that many duplexes available. It's
is that more, like a Milwaukee thing?
Well, I just think it's like a more suburban area.
No, there's usually. In the cities, there's all duplexes. There are duplexes in Beloit.
Yeah, it's just harder to get one.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. I know nothing about this, honestly. I've screwed up so many financial decisions. I'm not the person to ask, but I think we gave you a good deal with the whole cheese curd test. So I'm feeling good about that personally.
Yeah, well, and then the second thing I had was a buy-sell trade.
Yes, yeah.
All right.
This is what gets me excited in the morning.
Buy, sell, trade.
What do you got?
Come on down.
Actually,
I'm going to go on Craigslist.
Well, that's actually where I planned to sell it if, this doesn't end up working out.
Well, it usually does on this show. We get a lot of stuff sold.
I'm sending you guys a picture through Instagram DMs.
Okay.
Jared will pull it up.
Jared's got it. Yep. Suzuki 2017 Suzuki Boulevard, 12,500 or best offer, Woodstock, Illinois.
Let's hear the pitch.
When I was, when I turned 16, I was able to drive, and I've always been interested in cars. So I was buying and selling cars for quite a while. And
I'm sorry. At 16 years old, you had been buying and selling cars for a while? You are such an old man in such a young person's body. I love it.
You're an old soul, and we're glad
I'm old
you're
school.
here. He's
like
old
that.
school.
Yeah. Continue on.
But, over the years, I've picked up some coin doing that. And so now I currently own a car and 2 motorcycles.
Right.
And, with wanting to buy a house, I figured it's time to let go of one of them. And I feel like that might be that one there is the best option.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to need a car, and my other motorcycle's a little too much fun to get rid of.
What's your other motorcycle?
Don't talk about the other one. We're trying to sell this one.
Yeah,
don't
we're trying to
talk about how much cooler your other motorcycle is.
Yeah.
We don't want to.
Well,
it's about
for
marketing.
the right price, you can always get rid of both.
Okay, there we go. I like that. All right, it's all about marketing, my guy. It doesn't matter what the price is, whatever. If you can sell this thing the right way, you can get it sold. Talk to me. How sick do you look driving this thing down the main drag?
Well, so the issue I used to run into all the time was my other bike's a crotch rocket, and I ride with a bunch of Harley guys. So
of course you do.
They all kind of congregate into their own group, and I'm on my own. So I was like, I got to get a cruiser.
Okay.
And so I bought that bike all the way down near Indianapolis. Drove her home. I'm super comfortable, amazing, super powerful. It's got just under 1,800 cc's.
That's a lot of cc's.
But
if I know cc's like I think I do, that's a shitload.
That's is a lot.
You heard of that many cc's, Charlie?
I have a few seconds ago.
Yeah. That's about it. Yeah. Okay. Tons of cc's. What else?
And like I said, super comfortable. But as soon as I got the thing, instead of all these Harley guys getting compliments, all the attention turned to my bike. Even the Harley guys started avoiding looking at the other guys' bikes, and that became the conversation piece
of how nice your Suzuki was. First of all, I love how you were trying to ingratiate yourself with the Harley guys by getting a Suzuki. I think that.
Well, I always give them a hard time. I talk shit about Harleys, and I told them, I was like, well, I can never get one after what I've been saying. So, I had to find a happy medium, get a cruiser that also was not a Harley.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to roll around town with 1,800 cc's under my legs.
Yeah. Well, do you have $12,500?
Well, we're going to see if the open market does first. And then, I can be convinced maybe after that. But, okay. So you're looking for $12,500 OBO, short for or best offer, Charlie. We know that.
Yep.
We're a buy, sell, and trade podcast. What, is there anything you can throw in to maybe sweeten the deal for whoever's doing it? You got a cool helmet? What do you got?
Well, I do have a helmet, but I still need it for my other bike because I'm not getting rid of that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
smart.
There's not much to sweeten the deal. I mean, it's the only thing I could vouch for it is the thing's almost brand new. It's got 1,700 miles.
It's got less miles than CC's.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Okay. Well, I think, all the listeners,
higher.
Yeah, I was going to say all the listeners listening, which is what they're usually doing.
You're,
go ahead.
For all the people that, like my other bike's modified, but this one I just left bone stock, because when I'm looking for a motorcycle, I don't want other people's, modifications because I don't know what they did to them.
Yeah.
I don't know who installed them, all these other things. So this thing's bone stock's never been touched to anybody that, likes that kind of stuff like I do. So.
Well, I like that. Now, look, we've heard a lot of the mechanics, a lot of the fine details of this, and those are fine for your intellectual motorcycle buyers. But what I want to know is, how do you feel when you're kicking that sucker 70 miles an hour on the highway? How do you feel in your soul? What does it make you feel like?
I mean, nothing beats a motorcycle.
Wait, you feel like nothing or nothing beats a motorcycle?
Your mind is clear.
Is that it?
Your heart is clear.
It's
just you.
It's therapy. Like
the open road, the rattling of the thing beneath your legs. It's just, there's nothing like it because there's nothing going on.
I love that. That is, Miles, that was really
like going
beautiful.
out fishing when you're bored. I mean, it's a mode of therapy. You go by yourself, you go with your buddies, doesn't matter. It's equally as great of a time.
So you're not just buying a motorcycle, you're buying a therapist.
Exactly.
That's
and maybe a divorce if you're married. But
yeah, if I came home with a motorcycle, Ann would not be happy with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you buy them, and it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. So you just come home with it, and then eventually they just give up. I will mention that it may go up in a little bit of mileage because I may take it out in the spring if it gets nice. But I don't think that thing's going to cross the old 2,000 mark.
It's because so many people are interested. You got to let them do test drives, right? That's why the mileage is going up.
Too. Yeah, I mean, I can already hear the calls coming.
Yeah. And also, he loves it so much, it's going to be hard for him to part with this. And if it goes over 2,000 miles, I'd almost see that as a positive because it just shows how much he loves the bike, even though he's trying to sell it.
Yeah.
This is good. I think this will go.
Yeah, I appreciate calling in again. Glad to have you back on the podcast, and I think we'll get this thing sold.
That would be amazing. You guys, I owe you a big one there.
All right. Sounds good, man. Well, thanks for calling in.
And we'll only take 10%.
Thank you, guys.
No, thank you.
Yeah, we'll take 10%. See you later. You agreed to it. Bye.
All right. Hey, watch out for deer on that motorcycle. I mean that, okay?
Oh, I had a couple friends go down from that. So, I always have to.
Call in again. We can talk about that.
All right. You guys said it, not me. I'll have to.
Okay. Sounds good.
Talk to you soon.
All right. You guys have a good one.
You too now.
All right, Charlie. What do you think CC stands for?
CC? You don't know what CC stands for?
No, I know. I want to know if you know.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, if you just... Come on, for the listeners who don't know, because we both clearly know what CC stands for.
The listeners.
I think they know.
They know. Everybody knows.
Jared knows too. I can see that look on his face.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that it's
cubic centimeters. I mean, of course.
Who doesn't fucking know that? All right, I got to let out some cc's of piss in the bathroom, and then we'll be back.
All right, have fun in there. Shake it more than twice. You know what you're doing.